Hello, and welcome to the Today Show. I'm your host, Glenn Bourbon. Before we get into our glorious interview with the Secretary of Commerce and Labor, Gabriel Gonzalez, let's cover the current news. NBC started a poll on who the public would prefer as a candidate for the upcoming presidential election. The winner was Henry Reyes against Justin Powers. Henry Reyes securing 16 votes. The president versus the Secretary of State. And the Secretary of State won. That's certainly nothing to scoff at. However, there was a mishap regarding the Secretary's possible campaign. According to BNC, Leo Stone and Carl Robinhood leaked documents in a GC apparently used for his campaign affairs. BNC reporter Michael Clinton had some choice words for his team, calling them peanut-brained advisors, which is honestly possibly one of the worst things that he's ever called anyone. Many others have speculated that Michael Clinton worked with Leo Stone in order to release these screenshots, but none of those accusations have been backed by facts. Now, I can't wait to get into my interview with the Secretary of Commerce and Labor, Gabriel Gonzalez. We've been friends for ages, and it's delightful to have her on the show. Honestly, she's one of my best friends, and I've always spoken with her privately about this show. She's always wanted to come on. Now she's here. Stick around. This is Today. I saw that a lot of your critics, like Carl Robinhood, said that we need more jobs in BRUS, and you need to stimulate more jobs. How do you think this job fair will help that?
It's going to give businesses a platform to show what jobs they're hiring and put them on the front line of
Mm-hmm.
our labor department.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. And how do you think the foundation that you built for new projects like trademarks and patents has paved the way for you to do new regulatory things in regulating businesses, trademarks, patents, and other things that you may be planning?
I think our first part one of the reform went really good. The trademarks and patent, it's still rolling out, but it's doing pretty good. We have had a lot of trademarks register in the first week. Yes, the first week. It's like 30 in the first week. It's really good.
Hmm.
Really,
Hmm.
really good.
Right. So I wanted to ask you about, the serious conversation, right? I wanted to ask you about the Henry Reyes Hatch Act violation conversation. Do you think that he violated the Hatch Act?
I don't know if Henry violated the Hatch Act. We're still waiting from the AG on that, but him planning his election is a massive conflict of interest. And I wouldn't be surprised if he is audited or maybe even dismissed from the administration because what he did is wrong.
Interesting, interesting. So you think that the president could have grounds to dismiss him? Would you support something like that? Do you think that's the right course of action for the president?
Um, well, I'm not the president, so I don't know, but it's up to the
Well,
president.
while
Do
I'm
his
asking you, do you think it's the right course of action? Do you think it's the right course of action? This is a you question.
I don't, but
You don't. So
no,
you wouldn't encourage the president to fire Henry Reyes.
no.
Okay, good. All right, now, next question. All right, I wanted to ask you about the McGarry Wilson Presidential Medal of Freedom thing. McGarry Wilson was recently appointed a senator. And let's be real, he was criticizing the president for his executive order about gun violence. Do you think that McGarry Wilson was gifted the Presidential Medal of Freedom conveniently right after he started criticizing the president to stop talking bad about the president? I guess in an effort to shield the president from his bad public view.
Um, oh, McGarry's a good friend of mine. I'm proud of
Hmm.
him, and I think he deserves the medal.
Okay. I'm asking you if you think a backroom deal happened, because that's exactly what it seemed like.
I don't. I don't think nothing happened behind the scenes.
Well, do you think the president has done anything behind the scenes before? Do you think that
No,
that
I
he's,
don't.
made any sort of deals like that before?
I don't. No, not
Okay.
at all.
Well, according to critics, the president isn't very fond of the cabinet, so maybe he's just got his, cold, icy claws around you, and you're lying for him.
No, the president. No, our
Are
president is great.
that sounds like someone who is indoctrinated would say, but look, this is all coming from me. This is only. I'm just asking questions. All right. Now, this has been a great segment of the interview. I can't wait to talk more with you. Next up, we'll have some more trivia questions. And guess what? We're going to have a great, great, great news segment called Glenn's Book Club. I'm going to talk about my brand new book, Tomorrow's Promise, about hope, love, and forgiveness. Stick around. This is today. Welcome back to today. I'm sitting here with the luminary Secretary of Commerce and Labor, Gabriel Gonzalez. Now, I know that I promised you a fun little segment, and I have one for you. I'm going to ask you some trivia questions. All right?
Great, great.
Okay. Now, who assassinated Abraham Lincoln? Now, everyone working in government should know this. Who did it?
I don't know that one, Glenn. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. John Wilkes Booth.
Okay.
John Wilkes Booth did it. All right. Who invented the telephone? Come on, you've got to know this.
No, Glenn.
Oh my goodness. Alexander Graham Bell, of course, the amazing genius. All right. How many items are in a baker's dozen? Now, I know this personally because I'm a baker.
12, right? There's 12, right?
All right. No, it's actually 13. A baker's dozen is 13. Now,
Okay.
what is the fourth planet from the sun? Come on.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness, it's Mars. You don't know any of these. Come on. What's the longest river in the world?
The Chesapeake Bay.
No, it's the Nile. It's the Nile. All right. Where is the Mona Lisa? This is easy.
Paris.
Which museum?
I don't know which museum, but I know it's Paris.
She's in the Louvre Museum in Paris. Okay. Now, who is the author behind the children's book Cat in the Hat? This is the only one you'll get right. Go ahead.
Dr. Seuss.
Right, right. Was was Alexander Hamilton ever president of the United States? This is easy.
No,
Right. What happened to Julius Caesar on the Ides of March?
he died.
Right. All right. Fill in the blank. This is the easiest one ever. Roses are red, violets are.
Blue.
Exactly. Sir Isaac Newton had how many laws of motion?
Huh?
No, three. It was three.
I didn't say enough. Three.
Three.
Up and three.
Okay. What video game character has a brother named Luigi who wears green?
Oh, Mario.
Right, right. Okay, those were my trivia questions. You know I love trivia. All right. So, right after this, we'll have Glenn's book club. Hello and welcome back to Today. This is an absolutely fantastic episode, and this has been so fun for me. Now, we are doing this amazing segment thanks to my amazing producer, Winston Pembroke, Glenn's Book Club. Now, Gabrielle, this is a fantastic, fantastic book. My new book, Tomorrow's Promise. How do you feel about the title? Because I love it, Tomorrow's Promise.
I think the title is really good. I think you picked a very great name for your book.
hmm hmm And the reason I picked it is because during the trials and tribulations that I went through during my very short presidency, I always tried to keep my eyes on tomorrow, and I highlighted that within this book. Do you think the role of hope plays a big part in your life, and how does it impact your personal workings in the Department of Commerce and Labor?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Repeat your question.
Sure. How does the role of hope honestly impact your workings within the Department of uh, Commerce and Labor?
Um, you have to hope for a better America.
hmm
Um,
hmm Right. Right. And hoping for a better America, hoping for a better life, hoping for a better tomorrow is really tomorrow's promise. And in my book, I also learned how to forgive. Forgiveness is a massive part in everything. Has there been anyone you've had to forgive who has done anything wrong to you within your career, and then you forgave them and you unlocked the power of forgiveness?
I feel like I really had to forgive Cameron. I
Mhm,
feel like Cameron has did like a lot of things that I really had to just get over. Like Luke has done a lot of things. I just had to get over and forgive him and move on and turn a
mhm.
chapter.
Right, right. And that is one of my best pieces of advice that I can give to anyone in BRUS. I need to know whether you are willing to forgive. And if you are, then I need to see you forgive. And I will always advise everyone to forgive anyone who's done you wrong, anyone who's ever did anything bad to you, anyone who's ever said anything bad to you, that you should forgive them because honestly, at their core, they want forgiveness. And I know they do. They want forgiveness. And even if they want forgiveness, it's not that you're forgiving them for them. You are forgiving them so that you can move on into the next chapter of your life. And that's exactly what I did. Do you think that if someone does you wrong, or if someone does something terrible to you, that you would learn to forgive them as well and move on?
I do.
hmm Right. Could you expand on that?
Forgiveness, you have to forgive everyone. You just have to learn to move on.
hmm Right. So, moving on. All right. I can't wait to see my amazing audience on the next episode of today. This was a fantastic conversation, Gabrielle. Please give my audience parting words from you. I'm sure they'd love to hear some.
I want to give my review on your book.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I think the book is just like your letter. You don't really go much into detail or take responsibility for anything you did. It's just like you've talked about planning invoking the 25th the whole time, and you blame invoking the 25th on the AG. But the DMs were chased makes it seem like it was your fault, Glenn, and you don't really talk that much into it and take accountability for what you did.
Well, that's not the review I was expecting. Why do you think that is?
It's just my opinion. I don't think you take accountability for what you did. You just try to blame it on the AG and force everything on her, and you painted her in a bad light.
I don't think I did. A big section of my book was to forgive the attorney general for what she did, and quite frankly, I have proof of what she did. I mean, that's not, you know, a lie. And I think I take full responsibility for what I did in the book. I very clearly stated that I did invoke the 25th Amendment. I didn't want to. That is the truth. I also have proof backing that up. I don't think that there's anything that I didn't take responsibility for. I'm shocked to hear you say something like that.
Well, how to say my opinion, Glenn?
Well, honestly, your opinion isn't in line with the facts. I'm sorry.
Could you not take criticism?
No, I definitely can. However, I can also acknowledge reality. And in reality, I do take complete responsibility for what I did, which was invoke the 25th Amendment on a president who, at that time, many people were advising me to invoke on, including the Attorney General. And I also take responsibility for my my complete resignation of the office. If I wanted the office that bad, it probably stayed in. Honestly, I don't think that it's important to say that I didn't take responsibility for something that I did, admitted, and then continue to apologize for. Also, I think that your administration should take complete accountability for everything that they've done. I mean, it's a
The
little
administration's
sad
doing good. It's
how
doing better than
how
your
how
legal.
far your president has fallen in his popularity. And honestly, the
Wait,
policies aren't even that good. They're kind of lackluster.
explain the messages, man. Go into detail.
Well, I can go into detail. Like, would you like me to read my letter?
I do.
Okay, okay. And you said my letter wasn't that detailed. I'm kind of
It
confused
was.
by that. I'm a little confused by that. All right. Okay. Here we go. Letter. My fellow Americans, I would like to address the recent controversy over my conversation with Chase Davenport, according to the Attorney General, who has been tasked to investigate me, prompting him to contact me inquiring about my ascension to this office. My statements included a statement of fact. The cabinet members voted in favor of the 25th Amendment, a short statement regarding built up, quote, support, fully intended to mean friendships I built in BRUS, which is why, right after I stated that my kindness is a contributing factor of those friendships, other words in support. And then I said it was planned regarding my general desire to be president. I how I didn't want to take the presidency by invoking the 25th Amendment because I like President Leo Stone personally, which is the exact opposite of the point that the Attorney General is attempting to make. My last statement was an Afro-United States Glenn Bourbon, and I took extremely warranted actions. I took actions that were listed in the Constitution. I'm not sure how you are seeing that I didn't take responsibility when I explained every single message.
You done? Oh, sorry. You were talking a lot. Why did you plan it the whole time?
I just explained that I didn't plan it the whole time. Obviously, you weren't listening. Maybe if you listen some more, then you'll get some substance.
I'm very much listening, man. You're just yapping.
It's literally called Glenn's Book Club. And you asked me a question, so I'm going to yap to you. Do you understand that?
Yeah,
Okay, good. When someone asks me a question, I am going to answer the question. If you call that yapping, then call it whatever the heck you like. I'm calling it reading a letter that you wanted me to read. All right? So, anyway, this interview is over. Catch me on the next episode of Today next week. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, Gabrielle, and I can't wait to talk to you again. Thank you so much, and God bless.